Today, President Trump moved forward with his tariff plan, imposing 25% taxes on Mexican and Canadian imports. He also doubled the tariff on Chinese products to 20%. Now, Trump has maintained that these tariffs are intended to address drug trafficking and illegal immigration. But he's also said the tariffs will only come down if the U.S. trade deficit narrows. Now, the state of Michigan does a lot of trading with our neighbor to the north. Our Olivia Yatuma shares how these tariffs may impact our state.
Today, I spoke with an associate professor at Western Michigan University who tells me Michigan is ground zero for a potential trade war and believes this is just the beginning.
Tariffs for a place like Michigan that's doing a lot of international trade is a pretty bad thing.
Matt Ross, associate professor of finance at WMU's Hayworth College of Business, explains tariffs are taxes on imported goods. These taxes are paid by the company bringing the product into the U.S., not the country of origin, which often leads companies to pass the cost increase on to consumers.
So there is an argument to be made for imposing tariffs to protect domestic manufacturing or to help encourage and develop domestic manufacturing. But the counter argument is they actually did more harm than good, and that's kind of the prevailing view.
Ross says Michigan is ground zero for a potential trade war.
Because of Michigan's industry and its geography, we are more affected than a lot of other places. Given that the supply chain is so heavily integrated, particularly between the southern part of Michigan and Ontario, these tariffs are likely to cause a lot of frictions within the auto industry particularly, and more widely through Michigan industries.
And retaliatory tariffs, he believes, are going to continue from Canada, Mexico, and China.
Expect costs are going to go up quite a bit, and consumers are going to start to feel it relatively quickly.
This could be, according to Ross, the first of many rounds of tariffs.
It looks like we're at the beginning of an escalating trade war, and Michigan is right in the center of it.
For Fox 17 News, I'm Olivia Yatuma.
Olivia, thank you. Now, Michigan imports billions of dollars of products from Canada, Mexico, and China, all three of our nation's biggest trading partners. According to USA Today, Canada provides U.S. billions of dollars worth of oil and gas, as well as iron, steel, lumber, and dairy. It's a similar story with Mexico. Michigan imports billions in agricultural products, electrical equipment, and components. The hardest hit, though, will be Michigan's auto industry. From Ford to General Motors, car makers rely on supply chains that have parts crossing borders many times before the vehicle's final assembly. Now, Michigan Public reports more than 50% of imported auto parts from Canada have a final destination in Michigan.
The supply base is not that strong financially, but it will get to a point where they will say, look, unless you pay these tariffs, then we're not going to ship you parts. And then things are going to get really interesting.
Griffith says the auto supply chain is still recovering from the pandemic and cannot afford to pay tariffs. Now, as a result, she says you can expect automakers to pass the added cost on to you and other consumers. Griffith says Trump tariffs could make vehicles cost $8,000 to $12,000 more.